6:30.
6:30.
Jeremy, it's all you.
All right. Good evening and welcome to the Rochester School Board meeting for this, what is it? It is January 28th and it's 6:30 and grab us the last time. Okay. At this point in time, we'll do the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and
justice for all. Everyone, and it's roll call. Francisco,
Yes, here.
Grant, here. Susie,
Here.
Heather,
Here.
and I'm Neil Turner. I am the Vice President of the school board, and I am here. At this point in time, we will start on our reorganization of our school board. And I have to read this, correct?
No, you
No,
don't have to
don't
read
have to do any of
that.
that? Okay. All right. It's all on this piece of paper for me. Thank you very much. All right, at this point in time, we will be electing our school board president for the next year. At this point in time, I will call for nominations for chair to serve through this entire, to ensure the year.
I nominate Grant.
Susie nominates Grant. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Okay, not hearing them. At this point in time, nominations will be closed. Okay, at this point, you accept Grant.
Yes.
Grant accepts. All right. I always want to make sure.
I appreciate you.
Last time we did this, Thomas wasn't in the room. So I just want to double check. All right. With that point, nominations are closed and we will take a roll call vote for the election of our chair. So, Francisco?
Aye, yes.
Yeah. Heather?
Yes.
Susie?
Yes.
Me? Neil? Yes. Congratulations. All right. Now moving on. Vice President. Call for nominations for Vice President to serve during the ensuing year.
I nominate Neil.
I accept that nomination. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none? It will now be closed, and I accept. So, take a roll call vote. Grant?
Aye.
Susie?
Yes.
Francisco?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
All right. It was now done. I'm now vice president again. Who me? I'm just a fill-in. It works though. I get lots of education doing this, I promise. All right, at this point in time, we will do the legislative rep and call for nomination for the legislative WSSDA legislative rep. Any nominations?
I nominate Neil.
I will accept. Do we have any other nominations for this position? Hearing none, nominations are now closed. And now it's a matter of a vote. Brant?
Aye.
Susie?
Yes.
Francisco?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
All right. I am the legislative rep. On next, to our next position is the WIA rep. Call for nominations for this rep position.
Nominate Susie.
Accept?
Oh, yes. Yeah, sure.
Accept? Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, nominations are now closed. Now we vote. Grant?
Aye.
Me? I say yes. Francisco?
Oh, I thought she was gonna get the vote. Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
All right. Congratulations, Susie.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for allowing me to be vice president again. And the meeting is now granted to run.
Anything else? All right, next on the agenda, public comments, any? Linda?
None online and none in person.
Okay. We move on to item 4, recognition, Board Appreciation Month.
Yes, so January is always Board Appreciation Month, so welcome to the board, to our new board members, and it's nice that you get to come on board, and we welcome you with Appreciation Month. But I do want to thank the board personally, just the time that you commit to the board, to our students, to our community, to making sure that we have the best education possible for all of our kids. It really doesn't go unnoticed. We couldn't do what we do here without you, so thank you very much. There are a few other people that want to just say some thank you. Pam, Rachel, are you guys here to just, were you here?
Thank you.
There you go.
Well, I have more than that.
All right, come on up, Pam. Rachel, Vicky Weiss was the president. She was going to be here tonight to thank you on behalf of the union, but she just had a grandbaby, like probably
Yeah.
2 hours ago.
Wow.
So I didn't ask Rachel for sure if she was here on that to speak on her behalf, but I know that like Rachel said, the teachers appreciate all that you do. So Pam.
Good evening. My name is Pamela Johnson, but most people call me Pam. And I am the Rochester Education Support Professional Local President. I want to thank you for all your tireless dedication, ensuring that all our students, all educators, including bus drivers, custodial, and maintenance workers, food services, office professionals, health services, paraeducators, technical services, and the Rochester community working together to provide a better future for all our students. Rochester Education Support Professional joined with Rochester Education Association and others throughout the Rochester School District, as well as Washington State, saluting each of you in this important role as school board directors. I myself, as well as Rochester Education Support Professional, look forward to forging a collaborative relationship with each of you. Let's continue to work together in ensuring that all students, all educators, and those in the community are valued and respected as we move Rochester School District forward. I'm going to close with this Chinese proverb. If you're planning for a year, sow rice. If you're planning for a decade, plant trees. If you're planning for a lifetime, educate people. Thank you for your service and look forward to working with each of you collaboratively. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I love your shirt.
Oh, of course, right. I wore it just for you.
So we also, the booster clubs all have sent their thank you. RPS had the kids help them with their thank you with the sign over here that we'll leave up in the boardroom for a while. GMES has t-shirts for you that I believe are over in goodie bags over here. There's also some gift cards from the middle school booster club and the high school athletic booster club. I think there's another gift card and a goodie bag over there. So, and there's also some snacks. So I thought we could get up, grab a few snacks. You can grab your bags and the cards that are over there and then have a seat and we can get started with the rest of the meeting. Does that sound good?
Okay.
All right.
Good.
And there is enough snacks for anybody that wants. And they are in Seahawks colors.
Have to say thanks.
I pared it down.
All right, thank you. We'll keep on. Our next item under recognition, Boys and Girls Club, Thurston County Youth of the Year finalists.
So we have Myra Harris here, who's from the Boys and Girls Club, is Kayla Kids Program Director. And she's going to be introducing Hadley Hughes, who is our Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year for this year. So come on up, you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
So my name is Mara Harris. I am our Kayla's Kids Director for Boys and Girls Club of Thurston County, which is our behavioral support and social emotional program. I travel between clubs, but that's not why I'm up here to talk. I'm up here to talk about our Youth of the Year program. This program is very near and dear to my heart. I grew up as a club kid myself. I've been with the clubs. This summer will be 19 years of my 29 years of life. So quite a long time. I was Rochester and Thurston County's Youth of the Year back in 2010 and 2015 at 13 and 18, where I got to go to state. So the Youth of the Year program is extremely meaningful in a few respects. The first one is it is our organization who is picking a leader, someone they see in the clubs who is a leader, who shows up every day or as often as they can, especially as a high schooler, who makes that time to really just be there. They support the kids. They are a leader in the community as well, which is really important. And the other half of the Youth of the Year program is they get to figure out a lot about themselves and gain confidence within themselves. Being that I was 13 years old speaking in front of hundreds of people, I learned how to have the confidence to speak in front of people now. And I think without the Boys and Girls Club and without the Youth of the Year program, I wouldn't have that ability, especially living in a small town, right? So that's where the Boys and Girls Club, our Youth of the Year is actually at the beginning of this month, got to go over to Ellensburg and do a Youth of the Year retreat with some of the other Boys and Girls Clubs in Thurston County who also have Youth of the Years, as well as some of the other counties around Washington State, which is a really unique opportunity. They work on speeches, they work on essays. Next week, Hadley will be going through the entire judging process where she has finalized her speech. She had 3 essays she had to write, as well as get letters of recommendation, all the things, right? And next week she'll go in front of a panel of judges. She'll say her speech, and then they will ask her questions. And then on Friday, February 6th is our Youth of the Year event, where each one of our Youth of the Years will be up there and speaking, telling their story. And it's just a really heartwarming, and it's a bucket filler, honestly. This program, I went through it, and I can't even explain to you how impactful it is to the youth that go through this process, especially sometimes we have some of our younger ones. It's primarily high schoolers who go through the process, but every once in a while, little 13-year-old me went through the process and got to gain so much knowledge and education from it, right? So I am done speaking now, and I am going to have Hadley Hughes come up here, and she is our Rochester Youth of the Year.
Yeah.
If you feel comfortable, would you please look into someone's eyes for a moment? Who did you choose to look at? If you told me to do this when I was 5, I would have looked into the eyes of my mom, dad, or sister. Those were the people I felt the most comfortable with. If you ask me to do that now, I would search around the room for someone who doesn't already have a partner. This is the clearest way I have changed through club. I've been involved in the club my entire life. Even though that I have grown and changed, I am still that same little girl with just a bit more enthusiasm to meet new people. Looking into someone's eyes is viewed as many things: a sign of respect, vulnerability, love, and especially trust.
I believe all of these are true depending on the person. When I initially came to club, I was terrified of talking to people or even looking at them. I came into places hiding behind my mom's leg, making myself small and unseen, but at home, I was loud, confident, playful, and probably a little annoying. When I started getting comfortable in club, I was able to show that side of me to more people. Looking back in time, I never think, wow, that wasn't me. I really was always myself at club, even in middle school when everyone is scary and you feel like they're judging. There have been several significant people who encouraged me to grow and taught me important lessons. Christine was one of the first faces I saw past my mom's leg. She's also the one I grew close with first. Knowing her helped me trust people. Then there was Leah. To Leah, I am Smiley, a nickname she gave me in 3rd grade because I was always smiling at club. This small gesture helped me always feel seen. Ryan helped me understand how to be a leader while also being yourself, whether that's goofy or serious. Nora taught me to become a great listener, which in turn allowed me to grow as a leader. Elizabeth helped me shatter my shell. She always pushed me to be my authentic self and do what I enjoy. Shelika convinced me to be the first to sing karaoke. She pushes me to try new things even if they seem scary. At club, I was never worried that people were judging me. I was never afraid to be myself. It's a home to me, a place where I can grow and become who I want to be. Club fosters an amazing environment where all the staff support you. They have become my family. Each and every person I've met at club has changed me in one way or another. And I'm grateful because without them, I wouldn't be the outgoing and confident person I am today. I am Hadley Hughes, Rochester's Youth of the Year. And with that, I thank you.
Hadley, wait just a second, okay? So first of all, next week you go through judging, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And you are currently a senior
Yes.
at the high school,
Mhm.
right? And any plans for next year? Thoughts, considerations?
Currently, I'm also doing running start, so I am planning to finish my AA through next year. And then from there, I am planning to go to Eastern Washington and get my degree in most likely early childhood education.
Nice, and come back to Rochester.
Possibly.
And who is your proud mom?
My proud mother is Heather Harris.
I couldn't let you sit down, sorry. Both of her in your speech, so I think, yes, we have to give her a nod, right?
Yes.
But we wish you the best as you go through the next steps of the process.
Yes.
And I look forward to hearing you on Friday the 6th. Is that when
Yes.
you leave? Yes, so I will be there, so I
Thank
look
you.
forward to hearing you. Good luck.
Thank you.
That's you again.
All right, next up is our consent agenda. The folks have had a chance to look through meeting minutes, personnel updates, payroll vouchers, contracts, endorsement assignments. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Neil, I'll make that motion.
You hear a second?
I'll second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda passes. All right, we'll jump to reports. Student reps.
All right, so boys basketball is celebrating 7 seniors. That's 3 players and 4 managers on February 6th, playing against Hoquiam. And they'll also be honoring our 3 band seniors.
Girls basketball has their senior night on February 3rd. They will be playing to 9-0, and congratulations to their 1 senior who's their manager. They will also be honoring all 6 of their winter cheer seniors.
Wrestling senior night is tonight, and they'll be honoring 8 seniors, and they're wrestling against Montesano.
The girls bowling team earned first place at Evergreen League tournament. Individually, Natalie Southern placed first overall, bowling a school record high game of 235.
Wow.
For clubs and bands, leadership took 12 kids to the Jostens Leadership Conference on Monday, where they learned about school involvement, student recognition, and listened to great keynote speakers. And this Friday, FBLA is taking 18 kids to the regional conference to compete to go on to state. This is twice as many kids as that we took our first year going to competition, which was my sophomore year.
Last meeting, we talked about our breakfast with Santa, and it was probably very, very successful. We had a lot of fun with it, and we're hoping that'll be now a new annual event. And to start off the semester, our school is doing a staff versus student Olympics. Our staff has won both the basketball and hockey games, and the students are hoping for a win tomorrow in volleyball. That's all we have.
Thanks, Zach. Questions?
None.
Awesome. Great job. Thank you. All right, next up, we have counselors' reports.
So I am not a counselor, and I'm going to very quickly introduce. We have three of our counselors here tonight: Sarah Gerber-Kai, Michelle Payette, and Rachel Ledbetter. And we did a counselor advisory with our community, working towards just building that community partnership, because serving our students takes all of Rochester to do. And we wanted the opportunity to share some of the amazing things that they talked about and what's happening in their buildings. So Sarah Gerber-Kai is going to be first from our primary school.
Give us just a second. The presentation is loading. I know I do have a stopwatch going. You're good. It should be in your email.
Yeah. Just let it load.
There we go.
So thank you for having us. My name is Sarah. I'm your school social worker over at the primary school. And I'm going to go over our comprehensive school counseling plan for this school year, though I know you've heard a lot from the primary school about our different initiatives in terms of student behavior and things that we're working on in that realm. So a lot of this will sound very familiar. It all aligns. And as you can see, it aligns also with this district strategic plan, as well as goal 3 on our school improvement plan. But our goal for this year is that during the school year, the primary school will increase the number of students who are meeting proficiency in the standard I Can Manage My Body up to 95%. We were at 69% at the end of last year, as measured by our report cards. So a big change this year is that now our essential standards on our report cards align to the essential behaviors for the school, so we can use that data that way. In order to meet this goal, we have a few objectives that we're focusing on. The first is ongoing training and building the capacity of our staff regarding social emotional learning, behavior, as well as trauma-informed practices and equitable practices. And we're using some of the building training time to work on those equitable practices for behavior. We also are focusing on empowering our teacher teams to be able to talk about behavior as a team and be able to talk about what preventative strategies are working, what's not working, and how to move forward. And so this is something that I'm very passionate about, is instilling that, is empowering our teachers, like showing that we trust them with this work and giving them the time to be able to talk about behavior in their teams. We're going to do that by designing our schedule, our PLC schedule, to give teachers even just a few minutes of time to be able to talk about behavior as a team in the similar way that they do academics. Our third initiative is working on our multi-tiered system of support for interventions for behavior and social emotional learning. So we really work to strengthen up our tier 1. That's our universal interventions for behavior and social emotional learning for all of our kids last year. So this year, the focus is really on continuing to increase staff capacity for that tier 1, as well as kind of cultivating a culture of shared accountability for all those tier 1 supports and interventions, and then clarifying as a team what are our more supplemental and intensive interventions if that tier 1 isn't working. If a student is showing that they're needing more, how do we get them there, get them where they need to be? And lastly, those procedures for collecting data. Everything's about data. all the time it's about data. So clarifying how we're using our office referral systems and other data collection methods to be able to show what we're doing, and if it's not working, how to quickly turn it around so we can get our students where they need to be. And then lastly, I couldn't finish this without showing some of the kids. So last year we defined what are our non-negotiables at Tier 1 for supporting students equitably with trauma-informed practices and really making a commitment to relationship building, clear, consistent routines, other evidence-based practices for modeling and responding to behavior, teaching behavior in schools. So we're just honing that this year, again, building capacity, asking questions, working in our teams, and then really honing in on our accountability systems for making sure that all of our students have equitable access to these non-negotiables. Thank you. Do you folks have any questions?
I just want to say thank you for the work that you're doing. I think it's vital in today's society with the kids that we serve. And, you know, I see those same things being mirrored in the Boys and Girls Club and just the work that's aligning to support the kids. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I thought, you know, we could just have Miss Hughes come back up. This is why we do what we do.
Yes.
But yes, thank you. And I appreciate your ongoing support for our schools. I really appreciate it.
Do you have any metrics or sense on how you're doing on your goal from 69 to 95%?
Yes, so we had our first quarter report cards and we did see an increase in the students who are managing their body is now no longer the greatest area of need. So I don't have the number for you, but I know it didn't hit, we did not hit 95% yet. We're not there yet. Actually, interestingly enough, now the standard where we saw the greatest area of need was problem solving. And we also administered a student survey so that they could give us some feedback on what they felt like they were needing the most supported. And it was also problem solving. So that's our big push for this past month is Tier 1 for problem solving.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'm next. I'm Michelle Fayette, and I am the counselor at Grand Mount. One of our goals from the school improvement plan is to reduce our discipline referrals to under 400. So I do have some numbers for you. They're not exactly in the direction that we wanted to go, but 400 is a very lofty goal. And seeing that we had over 950 last year. So right now, as of 6:30 tonight, we were at 297. So we're making progress. This point in the year last year, we were not even close to that. So we're making progress. What we're noticing is our behavior plan has needed constant adjusting as we've gone through month to month to month. And right now our foundations team is looking at how many referrals we're getting per month in what areas. And we're noticing that we're concentrating on a few different areas. One is basically name calling and being just not very nice to other kids. And the other is disrespect to adults. So those are two things that we're planning to do Tier 2 interventions on. Right now, Dan and Madison are in the midst of developing more stuff for us to do to help those kids. We have a sensory space in our school that's right next to my office. I would love for any of you to come and visit. We've got some really great stuff in there. Laura has provided a lot of funding for us to get really top-notch equipment that really does help kids with their sensory needs. And it is used all the time. We're using it all the time. We have waiting lists to get in. So it's a very effective strategy. And it's one of those things that we're keeping lots of data on, and we'll have more information for you at the end of the year. We're using in our foundations team, we're also using Randy Sprick's model of safe and civil schools. And so we're trying to improve school climate. We just finished a survey with our kids about, it was called the Student Trust Survey that our principal, Dan Aragon, had known about. And so we just finished that. We got some really great feedback. Kids really think that their teachers are incredible and that they're doing great work. But there's some areas that we can improve in. So the teachers and I and all of our staff are looking at really digging into that data and finding out what it is that our kids think that they need more of. So that's what we're doing there. We're really trying to increase as many positive interactions as we can. The ratio it can be different in elementary school because you're saying no a lot to a lot of different things, but how do you say no? And how do you make sure kids know that they're doing the right stuff when they're doing the right stuff? So our teachers have really spent a lot of time figuring out how they can be more positive and how they can be making sure kids know that they can make mistakes, but we absolutely want them to keep trying and not to let go of that. So we actually are keeping data on that. We're watching each other in classrooms and marking how many times we see corrective action and how many times we see positive interaction, and giving that back to teachers has been great feedback for them. And they all are remarkable. I mean, we found the average right now is about one correction to every 4 or 5 positive interactions. So that's pretty good. Okay. This is our peace path that Mr. Aragon has provided for us. We have this painted on our playground as well as copies, paper copies, and then I have a big mat in my office. And if you notice the down on the left or the right hand bottom corner, right there, thank you. The yellow feet prints start first. So they say, I feel sad when you call me names. So then the other child across says, I know that you feel sad when I call you names. And then they go on and they say, I feel sad when you don't play with me at recess. And then the other kid says back and forth, and they just go down the path. And it's remarkable. We have some experts at using this path. And now the kids are actually saying, oh, we need to go do a peace path. So they're instigating it themselves and not just having the adults use it all the time. So that's been very helpful. You want to do something?
Hello, I am not Mr. Shamil Gunay.
Do you have any questions?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
No, good.
I have a question, because I'm new to the board and I have no idea. You said positive interactions a lot. How do you measure that, or?
So a corrective action is if you were to say, like in a group of kids, if you were to say, put your pencil down, that's a corrective action. If you were to say, I really appreciate your attention that you're spending on this, or I really appreciate the work you're doing. The difference is how you phrase it.
Okay.
So it's making sure that you're trying to make things as positive as possible, not just going, put your pencil down, listen to me, stop fidgeting. Those are corrective actions. It's not that they're bad. It's just you want to have more positive interaction than you do corrective.
Got it. So you're not necessarily measuring the positive interactions, kind of like, well, I know my kid goes to the primary and he gets little things called, you got caught being fantastic.
Right.
And those are actually given to the kids. And then they get to keep it. And I think they get something out of it, or it's somehow it gets measured. I was wondering if you had something similar.
We have Warrior Pride tickets that kids are given when they're doing positive things. But what we're doing is we're actually measuring, observing teachers in classrooms and measuring them on how many positive interactions they're displaying with their students, and trying to find a ratio of that to corrective.
Got it.
So we're trying to really pile on as much positive as we can. You need to have corrective actions.
Yeah.
I mean, there's sometimes you just need to tell somebody to sit down. but we try and build up as many positive things as we can prior to that.
Got it. Okay.
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
So this peace path, is that, they go all the way through those steps?
Yeah, so they go through and then each acknowledging what the other has said. And then they get to the end. If you see the middle, right there. So they get to that middle part where they've heard what each other has said, and then they say what they need from the other person. And the other person says that they're going to do this for them, like, I will not call you names anymore. And they go all the way down through the path. And then if they get to the end and they say, from now on, I will, something positive that they're going to do. And then they shake hands and leave in peace. And sometimes they get to the end and it's kind of a little stall before we get shaking hands, but sometimes we got to go back a few steps, but we're pretty good at leaving in peace. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm going to be very quick. Mr. Gune could not be here this evening, but I just wanted to share a little bit about what he talked about in his part of the presentation. They also were focusing on strategic plan goal number 2, looking at attendance. And so really working on that climate and culture of their building to be able to help students just feel safe and like they belong and work on improved attendance. And I have 2 little charts there that are on top of each other on purpose. The top one there is the one that was from earlier in the school year. And then the bottom one is what's happening now. So when you look at it, you can see that attendance is, I can't even read the bottom numbers. They're too small. We're not quite reaching the goal for attendance because like that top one we have 79, 80, and 75% of students attending school. And then you look at that bottom one, the numbers have gone down a little bit. I'm not going to speak very much to it. I just wanted to give you a very quick overview of what the middle school's focus was, and also give kudos to all of our folks that are doing this work because it is amazing work they're doing. But I just wanted you to have a quick overview of that part, and then I'm going to hand off to Rachel for the high school.
Hi, I'm Rachel Ledbetter. I'm one of the 2 school counselors at Rochester High School.
And I'm Pam Johnson. I'm the academic and behavioral intervention specialist.
Yeah, we really work very closely. And so I'm going to start off with just talking about our new high school and beyond plan format and our organization tool we're using for that this year, because we've really been putting a lot of time into planning it and trying to get students used to this new format. And I'm really liking it. I was really dragging my feet going into this. I did not want to give up the slides for the high school and beyond plan because I was just used to it. But now that I'm in here and I'm playing around and learning more about the website and seeing how it's engaging my students, it's getting pretty exciting. And I think we're just now starting to hit our stride for the potential that it has to actually be a little less of a checklist and more of connecting our students with resources. So the high school and beyond plan, it's in the School Links platform, and we work on that during our advisory classrooms. And you can go to the next one if you want. And it connects student interests with their college plans, their career goals. And it's actually got this part of it that also links in local community events that could support their career plans. So after they identify what they want to do with their life after high school and the plan how they're going to get there, they can go into this section that we're working on building up to connect to local apprenticeships, local job shadow opportunities and things like that. So we're trying to get more into that for second semester to get our kids thinking in that direction. And then, oh yeah, yeah, there's also that. But, and then of course, senior year, we still have the final high school and beyond plan that goes into their CUME file, but it used to be with a Google slide, we would put a print up in their their folder. And then they might not have access to it again. It's really kind of useless. Now they'll have access to our new program after high school with their resume in there and all this other cool stuff that they can take with them and keep updating and have connection with the high school or whoever they need to with the local college. So I just think it's going to be really good once we all get used to using it. It's a little bit of a shift though. So moving on. Oh yeah, you already did it. Okay, so this year we're also launching a new support program for ninth graders, and Pam and I both wanted to talk about that because we want our ninth graders to feel more of a connection right away at the high school. There's this lag time when you move up from middle school and you get to the high school where I think we kind of lose their attention and they're getting kind of confused and lost in the big high school. They used to be top dog at the middle school and they come up and they're, you know, new to high school. And we see a drop in their grades and their attendance sometimes too, and their performance. And so we're trying to mentor them. So Pam, myself, Ms. Vice, and a few other people in the building, we've taken groups of freshmen and we're just trying to meet with them and make sure that they know somebody at the high school, that they can come to us if they have questions or just know somebody to say hi to in the hallway. And somebody is tracking them more than we do otherwise in an advisory class. But with that, we kind of got partway through first semester and did a little reorganizing already to kind of, because we're limited resources. And so we, I think we're going to start fresh second semester and try to get more intentional with some of our activities. But I already felt like a good connection with some of the ninth graders that I met with. And I feel like it's going to have a huge impact, but I don't have data to back that up yet. So I'm just keeping an eye on things. And Pam's been super active. I'm taking notes.
That's my jam.
Yeah.
So prior to the mentoring program, I had a room at the high school called the PACE room. It was a positive alternative classroom experience where kids, students, especially freshmen, that were having some academic challenges, but come to find out, a lot of that had to do with their social and emotional learning. Truth be told, we have to address that before they can attempt to make any attempt with the academic, because 90% of it is the social and emotional, and you have to have the right people and the right tools in place for them to even engage in academics. And so not anyone can do that. It takes a team. It's not everyone. And it's kind of cool when you have the Boys and Girls Club and everyone that in the community can filter in and are on the same page with that. So I feel proud of that because in fact, I've been in Rochester for a long time and I've seen some growth. Part of the other thing I've taken on the last 2 years is attendance. We have to address it at ninth grade because then it starts. If we don't address it at ninth grade, it just keeps plunging. So,
and then junior, senior year, we're just trying to catch them up.
We're just trying to catch them up. And so Rachel and I and Vicki and Heather, our previous administrator, were on a grant with ESD for attendance. And we have taken a lot of tools in that and we're using those as well. I find too that if you're connecting with your students more than 3 or 4 times a week, they're going to come find you. And they know where you're at. And so building that relationship, being authentic, being intentional, checking in with them, giving them resources and tools to go and advocate for themselves, because that's important, and teaching them how to do that and making them feel like, you know, I've been there before and I still advocate for myself. And so walking them along with that. And we started something new with the Gear Up program today, last week. So yeah, I'm excited.
Actually, that was going to be my question. With the high school and beyond plan, that's like, to me, I guess I come from a business background. That's like a business plan. You guys are helping them create a business plan, right? Or a personal plan for themselves, personal career, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the actual operational piece where you actually run the business, which is probably like the Gear Up program where you actually go take action to actually do it, right? Is there any crossover or what do you, I guess, how is the high school and beyond plan crossing over to with the Gear Up program and how are you guys integrating that?
Yeah, so that's something that we're starting to look at. So when you go onto so for students, they get to enter their interests, their current interests, their goals, and some other information. But then from our end, Gear Up, myself, Pam, we can see the dashboard where, like right now, the most popular career choice at the high school is medical careers, nursing specifically. We can gather all those kids. Instead of having to go through all the high school beyond plan, we can get like a career guest speaker in, or we could do something to target them and pull them aside and kind of differentiate what they need to know to get into that career. The second highest one I think was welding. So we could do the same, not necessarily a like 4 to 6 year college path, but it also includes kids that are on CTE path. So it's kind of cool. We can use it like that. And that's something that's Gear Up's jam. They are really kind of doing that. They're pulling kids into their classroom all day to kind of follow up, and they can get that data so much easier now. And I think it'll only get better. Like already, we had like a little over 590 students that are engaging in the program. They're all in different places, but out of 650, that's more engagement than we had until the very end of the year with former high school and beyond plan. So yeah. Does that kind of answer it? I don't know.
Yeah, I get a feel for what you're trying to do and how you're trying to integrate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that did help.
Okay. Yeah, there's more than I even know yet diving into that dashboard, but that's what I'm latching on to right now is how to just meet with groups of students and get them different information.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks to all of our counselors. You guys are really making a difference for our kids in an area where we need to make sure that they are getting the support they need. The managing of the body, I'm so glad to hear that you're kind of moving on. But for the kids to be learning how to solve problems and then really focusing on them being connected and engaged and feeling valued at school is so important. And I'm glad to hear that the high school is really liking the ClassLink program.
I am.
Yeah, that's good. Hope, Dr. Are you guys liking ClassLink?
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, all right. School Link, sorry.
Can I make one quick comment?
Yeah.
I just want for the three of you that were here last year, and you two will get this opportunity this year. Michelle mentioned the sensory room and some of the sensory materials that we were able to purchase with a grant that we have. We have it again this year. And last year you two missed it. We had a bunch of sensory items that came here to the boardroom for a board meeting. So we'll probably get to do that again this year. So you will get your opportunity, but still go visit. But don't worry, it's coming because we're doing the grant again this year.
Thank you. All right, next up, business reports.
All right, and Jill is actually at a wrestling meet tonight, and her daughter is being recognized as a senior, and it's senior night, so that's what she is. So I will give you a quick summary of what's going on. First of all, the enrollment report. So you can see that our enrollment is dropping. We did start at 2,050 students, and now we're down to 2,009. But our average funded average is at 2,033. And what I want to point out to you there is that we budgeted to be at 2008. So we are still above our funded average that we budgeted for. So it's a good thing. It'd be nice not to be losing kids. And we keep trying to figure out where they're going and what's happening, but I don't have an answer for that. The next slide does show you where we are in comparison to previous years. The gray that we're very close to is 2021. And the green line is 24-25. That's between those two, I guess just realize that the two numbers that we're kind of hovering in between is between 2,000 and 2,050 students, with us being on the lower side of the 2,000 for this year. The next slide is our budget update or budget status. You can see 33% of the year is complete and we are hovering around spending right around the 33% of our budget. So Jill says we're good and she's feeling good about where we are. This is our monthly budget report on the next slide. Completed all the way through December and showing that we're right in line with the estimates that she had projected. And ending fund balances were within that 8% on the lower side though. And then you can see each of our different funds. I will note here the transportation vehicle fund, which later tonight we're going to talk about the purchase of a van. And that will be out of that transportation vehicle fund of $260,000. Okay.
Thank you. Superintendent report.
All right. So first of all, last week was the end of the first semester. So Thursday was the end of first semester. It's a great first semester, and now we're heads down and we're working on second semester and starting to think about next year. But you know, staff did a great job working and completing that first semester. Our kids did a great job working, completing everything. And second semester is off and running. Our drones robotics regional competition. I don't think you guys mentioned.
Forgot to talk about
that. I thought I was going to be like overkill here, but no. So both of our drones and robotics teams did very, very well at competition. The competition was on January 10th at the high school, and the library was packed. So I've been, I think, all of the last 4 years, and this year the room there wasn't a seat had for during some of the day. The drone competition is in the gym. Didn't get to see that this year, but our kids did really well. And if you go to the next slide, you can see that Zach, who is over here, he and his partner David placed first. We had Stanton and Naomi placing second, and then Connor and Noah placed third. And they are waiting. You said this Friday you'll hear who's going to state?
That's for FBLA.
Oh, okay. All right. When do you hear who goes to state for?
Sometime in February.
Okay. So we know the first place, we know Zach and his partner will be going to state. It depends on how many other team schools had drone competitions, whether we'll be able to take our second place and third place. So we're hoping that we get to take more, but our kids did a great job.
How many schools?
For this regional competition, there was only 3 schools for the drones, but for robotics, I think there was 5.
Multiple teams per school, right?
And who are the other schools? I know Aberdeen,
River Ridge for robotics, Shelton, and Elma, I think.
Okay.
Nice job.
Yeah. And then our robotics team, they also did very well. They placed first, second, third, and fourth. You can see the kids that placed in each of those. It was a great competition. Kids did really well in all the different pieces, and you know, none of it would happen without Mr. Coos. So we're very thankful to have him as our instructor and advisor with this program. He runs this and he takes care of these kids as they're competing. It doesn't make any difference whether they're from Rochester or one of the other schools. He will help them make sure they're going to have the most successful competition they can have. Good to watch and good to see. And great experiences for kids. Unified Sports. So Laura, maybe you want to talk to us a little bit about Unified Sports?
Sure. So Unified Sports, this is something that we've had on our radar for a little while. But this is an opportunity for our students who have some possible or like disabilities, or it could be physical limitations or other types of disabilities, who are able to participate in a sport when they may not necessarily typically be able to. So we have students that are peer models that participate, as well as some of our students with disabilities. And we have unified sports, and it's part of a huge program that's unified schools that we want to continue to help all of our students feel like they're part of the team. And we had our first halftime activity, halftime game at the girls' game last week, Thursday. And it was, I cried. I'm sorry, but it was 5 minutes long, but it was incredible. And watching all of the kids out there just doing their thing and playing basketball. And we have 2 big actual games coming up, February 9th, Pack the Gym in Tenino at 6, and February 23rd, Pack the Gym at Rochester. It'll be a full game. Tell your friends and neighbors, come and just have your bucket filled, because it'll be a great experience. I have a couple of videos I can show you of some very enthusiastic kiddos after they've made baskets. So it's awesome. And Davina Serdal, Todd Serdal, AJ Easley have been really the adults that are doing most of the heavy lifting with this, and many students at the high school. I think they had 38 kids and adults at their practice a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to keep growing.
So 2 dates up there, the 9th in Tenino, but the big one is the 23rd in Rochester.
Yep.
So I'm gonna pack the gym. This was mentioned. Naomi and Zach did mention our girls bowling team is league champs, and you can see the team scores up there. They did really well. Yes, it was yesterday, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So some celebrations there, and we will, I think, have a couple kids going to state.
Districts.
Districts.
Districts is the 30th.
Okay, there we go.
13 districts.
All right. And the team goes to district.
Yep.
Yes. So more to follow, more to come. And then you might recognize Hadley in one of these pictures. But if you had the opportunity to go to This Murder Was Staged at the high school in December, it was a great production. It was the first production of our new drama teacher or theater teacher, and the kids just did a fabulous job. I laughed all the way through the show. It was really well done. And I guess it was a little different every night is the other thing that I heard. But they're now planning their musical, which will be this spring. I don't have a date yet. Do we have a date?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
But she probably does have a set date because we have to plan around all of the other sports.
True, yes. But we'll make sure we let you know, and I encourage you to try and go out and watch that.
Do you know what musical we're doing?
I think she was still finalizing it when I talked to her.
We have, as a theater group, she has started including the students' opinions on different shows. So we have a few different possible options. And then if any other student is like, hey, what about this one? If it's possible, we will all talk about it and kind of decide as a group. But overall, Miss Osborne, our director, does have the final decision.
Okay. This, I just want to give a shout out to Hunter Morgan, who's away at school, but came back over winter break. And he put together a team to clean up Carper Trail. He had 20 volunteers. They tracked, they put in over 150 hours, and their goal was really to remove the invasive ivy that we see around our area a lot. So you can see some before and after pictures there, but they did a really nice job of removing the ivy, and then not only just removing the ivy, but taking it and burning it so that it wasn't going to just be moved and grow somewhere else. They didn't burn it on campus. Sorry. And then I just want to give you an update on the water system. So we are moving forward to have that put on as a capital levy on the April ballot for the updating of our water system. We did meet with Mr. the guys this last week, myself and Casey and Justin and Ed. We all sat down and had a meeting with them, really worked, just answered some questions and learned about a few different options that we need to be looking at. And it was a good conversation. I think we're all on the same page moving forward. And I will say that from Lowell, we did learn about a few different funding sources that we are checking into. Casey's doing some work digging into things for us. Looks like there might be some options, but it's not going to eliminate a levy, I don't think, but it might help us. I don't know enough yet to say a lot, but we are looking into them. So tapping into anything we can. And then I think most everybody in this room knows that I did announce that I'm retiring. So we are in the process of, not yet, I have to the end of the year. But we are in the process of conducting a superintendent search, or actually I'm not, the board is. And so they're working on procuring a search consultant to work with to oversee the search of a new consultant or a new superintendent. I just want to note that stakeholders will have the opportunity to provide input into the qualities and priorities that they would like to see in another superintendent and in the next superintendent, and offer that to the board so they can look at that input. And then there also, during the interview process, will be staff and community forums where students can come, staff can come, other community members can come and give input into the finalist candidates. And then just a few upcoming events. So work session is on the 11th. That's for the board, 6:30. We don't have school on February 16th and 17th. That's our winter break. And then our next board meeting is on the 25th. And hard to believe, but conference week is right after that. I know it's a month, but it doesn't. This is all kind of just rushing all together. Conference week will be here before we know it, and then spring break will follow that very shortly after. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Before we move to new business, you're all welcome to stay. You're welcome to stay, but you're also.
Thank you for.
Have a good night, guys. You too.
Thank you. Item new business, first reading, board policies. We want to go through each of these.
So I'll put it up to you.
Board members, if you want to get into them, we have them now. Typically, if there are any questions over the next couple of weeks before our next meeting, look through them. Give Jennifer a call. If you need clarity and goals to be ready to vote on them, move forward to their next meeting. If there's anything you want to talk about today, some of these we looked at at our work session.
All of them.
All of them. Okay.
Yep. Oh, so have looked at.
Okay. Is there any need for further discussion tonight? All right, we'll move on to the 26-27 academic calendar.
This was a calendar that was voted on by staff. I believe it was 86% of the staff that chose this calendar. The big difference between the two calendars that the staff voted on was when winter break was. You can see which one they voted on. We start school on the 2nd of September, and we will end on the 15th of June. Mm-hmm.
I get a motion to approve the 26-27 academic calendar.
I'll move.
I'll second. Any discussion?
When is graduation?
That's not on the calendar yet, but probably the 13th.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Pass. All right, next up is an out-of-state trip.
That is
the GMES teachers.
Yes. So the first one is the GMES teachers and administrator, and they would like to go down to a conference in California that is actually schools that have shown a lot of success in the work that they're doing with students and closing the gap. And those schools present, and they have some other groups that come in and present, but it's a lot about learning about their success, how they made it happen. And it also aligns to the work and the goals that they have at GMES and the things they're working on. So they would take 5 people to head down.
Is there questions? Is there a motion to approve the out-of-state trip for GMES teachers?
How is it paid? Grants?
Building budget.
60%.
I'll move to approve. Are you got a second?
I'll second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Trip is approved. Then we have a second out-of-state overnight travel trip. For Gear Up team. It's taking some students to out of state to look at a few colleges.
They're going down to Oregon. They're going to visit Oregon State, the University of Oregon, Linfield College, University of Portland, Lewis and Clark, and George Fox University. And they're hoping to take 28 students on that trip.
Are they all seniors or juniors? I got juniors in it before.
I think they're taking juniors.
Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah. Mhm. And there might be a senior going if a senior was looking in that area and didn't make a final decision yet, but most of them are juniors.
Oh.
You say some question on the funding for this?
This is Gear Up funding, so that's the federal grant that we have. And they will pay for all the kids to go. The students do not have to pay.
Awesome. That's a great opportunity. All right, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second? Second. We're racing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, next item is the roof replacements. Old cafeteria, district office building.
Yep, and I will have Ed just share with you real quickly what's going on. We did pull some pictures together so you can see what's going to be repaired. Ed, do you want to share some information?
Sure. So the picture that you're seeing there, that is the old cafeteria area. That's the main Boys and Girls Club area. Picture in the top right corner shows that it's a multiple gable roof, right? So the torch down. Nobody does torch down anymore. So it needs to be replaced with a membrane roof. The picture on the bottom left is the side edge of that top multi-gabled roof. And you could see how it's been have to be patched. The roof itself is filling on the top, but on the sides it's exceptionally poor. There's going to be some substantial structural in the facets and everything around the outside fixed, fascia boards, some of the beams underneath there. You can see the picture in the middle. There's a gap, the separation between the gutters and the roof, and the water's running down in behind the fascia boards and causing damage. The picture on the left, the picture on the right are both really farmer fixed patches to make it so it doesn't do any more damage and stop the leak for now, but it's in very poor shape.
When was the building originally built? That section, or when
I think that part was built in this like mid to late 60s. Yeah. This whole building was built in 5 different stages from 1936 to late 60s. So, yeah, 5 different eras. Building. Yeah.
And based on the complexity of the job, recommending roof doctor.
Yeah, a lot of the roof companies that we've used different roof companies. Right now, Roof Doctor is the most stable company that we have got quotes from, and they're very familiar with this, and going from a torch down to a membrane roof. There can be many surprises underneath there, and I feel very confident with. We've used Roof Doctor several times. I'm confident with Roof Doctor what they've done. I'm still trying to get other bids. If anything else comes in, we'll look at it and research it, but. As of right now, that's the top candidate.
When you say membrane, what do you mean?
It's the elementary school has a membrane roof. It's white. One you can actually see, I don't know if you know Dwight and Sylvia James, live on James Road. Their house is a membrane roof. If you look at it, it's all white. Everybody else's roof.
The silver stuff that you stick on, basically.
No, it's like a really thick truck tarp is what it looks like. If you put it in hands-on terms, it looks like a really thick truck tarp. But they weld, it's rubber welded and everything. And yeah, they're typically, any flat roof you see is gonna have that. You know, back in the day, they did torch down like this, but nobody will do a torch down like that on a roof that's so flat anymore. Not in this part of
Do they have a warranty for that?
on the membrane roofs, they do, yeah.
Roof
Yeah,
doctor
yeah.
has, what kind of a warranty is it?
I don't have the paperwork with me right now.
That's okay. I'm just curious what they thought the life expectancy.
Yeah. You usually have a lot of stuff, it's 10 to 15 years, depends on what it is, sometimes 20 years, but yeah.
And right now, there's about a $20,000 difference between one bid and the other, right?
Yeah, and some of the difference in that too is, and I had pretty good confidence in the other company, but there's been a lot of dismantling and restructuring. So I just don't feel confident in a project like this with people that I am not I don't know right now, you know, so. There's gonna be surprises underneath that when we start tearing into that. And so I want somebody that understands what needs to happen there. The roof doctor has plenty, their quote came in and it was torch down and if we want to do the same thing and as a membrane roof. Some of the other companies, it's their first or second or third times doing a membrane roof. And I don't want to be reinventing the wheel on their business right now, so.
Got it. So more experience. You're paying for the
Definitely.
experience of the roof doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, since it's above $50,000, it requires board approval. Any other questions? All right. I'll move to approve. Do you need a dollar amount or just approving, move forward with bid two?
You can approve the roof doctor bid.
Yeah. And, okay, I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, move forward. Next item is van purchase.
So yes, just stay there. So this is what I referenced earlier about purchasing a van out of the transportation vehicle funds. As of September, we can purchase vans with our transportation funds. Up until September, we were not allowed to. You could only purchase school buses. So it's nice that we now can purchase some vans. We know that we can purchase this van now, and the rules for how we can use this van are still being established. They will be established by next September. But up until then, we will be able to use it to transport students to field trips and events and use it for McKinney-Vento transportation and things like that. I assume we will be able to do similar things with it by the time all the rules come out, but it just might be a little bit stricter in the sense that we'll have to give it priority use for McKinney-Vento, let's say. And then after that, we could use it for field trips. Regardless, we need a vehicle like this. It will be a good vehicle to have in our fleet, and it'll be used a lot. And Ed can give you a little bit more information about it, but he's been looking for it. So we're looking at purchasing this one new, but we are also looking and we'll be watching to see if we can find a used van to purchase more than one with our transportation funds.
And this one's really a replacement, right? This one for that one that is out of commission?
I would say that we were going to purchase this anyway.
Okay.
And that the next used van that we're looking for now would be the replacement. But yes, I mean, it's timely, right?
Okay.
But before we had the accident, we were looking at purchasing a van. So does that make sense?
Yes. But I mean, like, we're staying at the same level of
Yes.
number of vans.
Right.
When we get this, and then after that, we're increasing.
We were actually down a van. That's why we're already looking at this.
Yeah.
We're actually down a van.
And what brand are we looking for?
These are Ford Transits is what these are. And it seems to be the most common and popular, user-friendly amongst all the school districts. If you go to any of the school districts, that's pretty much the van that they have. They're really specifically set up for 10-passenger school. They're listed as a 9-passenger and in the driver.
Then we end up paying extra for the logo and all that stuff on it, or do we just leave them as white vans?
So we're just trying to get vans at this point. If down the road, we choose to put logos and stuff on them. That's nice. The one thing that does, we're not making that decision now, but the one thing that does do, which we've experienced in the past, we've had vehicles stolen. When it says Tenino School District or Skookumchuck School District or Tacoma School District, everybody knows what it is. It's very identifiable. So people kind of stay away from it. When it's a white van, it's a white van. And so it is a theft deterrent, so the $2,000 for a wrap is something to think about down the road, but right now we're just trying to get a van.
Plus it's PR marketing.
It is, it's that, but it's just like everyone wants it because they're so identifiable, and then people are like, oh my gosh, these probably have low jack and GPS and all that stuff, and we don't want nothing to do with them. That's just what they see.
Yeah.
But when it's just a white van, they just think it's a white van,
So this is something we're doing instead of buying another school bus.
Correct. Because we use school buses.
And we couldn't do this before with the school bus money, correct?
Correct.
That's what you're saying?
Yes. Laws changed last legislative session, and now as of September 1, we can purchase vans.
So why, I don't understand, and maybe I'm just being dumb. We have to have what is a state bid list? What does that mean?
So this van is over $50,000, so we would have to go out to bid for the van. But the state also puts out a bid list of items, there's school buses on it, there's vans on it. And if the state has put out a list of items and companies have submitted bids to the state, then we can
buy
purchase off of that list.
But we can buy off of the list too.
Yes.
So it's pretty much up to us.
Yes, we don't have to go buy off the list. We could go and find.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, if we have to buy it on the state.
Right.
Okay.
And we actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but we started talking to them without it being the state bid list. And then looked at the state bid list and it was.
Right, yeah. And we do that on a lot of our stuff. It's like whenever we buy John Deere, Kubota, Steel, all that, they have a state municipality list that's always usually lower than, this could be a Ford for 95,000, but the state bid is 75,000. So it's just one of those things. Now, it doesn't stop us from still trying to negotiate and get a different price, but we know we get that van for that price.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Well, is there any energy efficiency aspects with the state bid list that follow the style of a vehicle? My company has 2 of these vans and they're big and they get about 9 miles per gallon.
Yeah, these are the V6 is what's in these things. So, and they come set up for schools. They come with triangles and fire extinguishers and all that stuff. They are strictly made and put together
Specifically for
school districts. This type of
Wonderful. Excellent.
Great. There's no other questions. Can I get a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Neil. Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say, or any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed. All right, this is approved. Last on our list is any public comments? Or items not on the agenda?
No one's put their name in.
Okay. We are concluded.
Okay.
Thanks all.